seeing more delays on 2059, by the way. I-20 westbound, there's another crash here at Old Leeds Road near the 459 I-20 junction there. So a first alert for that situation. And we've got that, of course, flooding there in the Lake Purdy area near Highway 280 westbound near the Valleydale Road area there. So a first alert for that as well. We've got flooding across the area in several different parts. Also seeing these are the other delays I was telling you about, 2059 northbound in the Inslee area now. So one day update you on all of that, of course, and across the area we're telling folks just to slow it down as you travel if you have to get out. Just because the rain, it may not be raining in your area right now, doesn't mean that it's not dangerous on the roads, because the roads are still slick right now. So that's what we're going to be dealing with for the next few hours here at least. All right, now Claire.
All right, thank you, Toy. We have several incidents to tell you about right now, so just bear with me. We've got a lot to cover. I first want to show you a live shot from Vestavia Hills, and this is near Vestavia Bowl, and you can see an 18-wheeler is sort of stuck in the median and blocking most of the road. This is Highway 31, again at McGuire Road near Vestavia, in Vestavia Hills. So that 18-wheeler is sort of shifted its load a little bit, and it is blocking some traffic in that area. RJJ Pruitt is there on the scene. He's getting information and details. He's going to be joining us at 7 o'clock with a live report about what's happening right there. Now, I also want to go back to this and show you this flooding. This is on Tallapoosa. So you can see that this car right here in your screen, it is flooded. We showed you this earlier. Mike and Janice were talking about this, but wow, look at all of this water right here. So a lot of flooding. It doesn't appear to be raining right now, so that's the good news. Our photographer, Carrie Nivens, is showing us other cars that will have water damage. They are submerged in the flood waters right here. So again, just be careful. Okay, now as we zoom in, you can see the rain is still coming down in this area. So we want you to be very careful this morning. Also, we did just get some new information. The Shelby County school system, they are delaying summer school today by 2 hours. There are lots of reports of flooding in Shelby County, including near the Inverness Landing Apartments off Valleydale. We are also seeing reports that Valleydale may be impassable at this time. So we are actually sending a crew to that area because we want to give you a live look at what's happening right there. We're going to be monitoring all of this, and I'll continue to bring you updates from the First Alert Desk. I'm Claire Huddleston. Let's go back to the studio.
All right, thank you very much, Claire. And again, if you experience any issues where you are, just upload it through the WBRC weather app. But we want to get another angle now on Tallapoosa Street and some of that area that's flooded.
And that's where Jonathan Skinner is now. They just arrived on the scene, as you can see there. Hey, Jonathan, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. I was just listening to Claire talk about what's going on here at Tallapoosa Street. Right now, we are off the exit ramp. This is the Tarrant exit right to 79. You can see behind me here, completely flooded in this intersection. There was a car actually that tried to get through the intersection. They got stuck just literally moments ago, and now Birmingham Fire and Rescue just came onto the scene, and they're helping cars, it looks like, turn around actually to get back onto the highway. And so this is a evolving situation. Now, some 18-wheelers, some larger trucks are trying to get through this flooding here. That's what we've been seeing this morning, and they have been able to do that, but smaller cars, even SUVs, have been getting stuck in the flood water. So we are continuing to keep people updated as much as possible. So if you're in the area, if you would normally take Tallapoosa Street, we recommend that you avoid it at all costs at this time right now because of the severe flooding. But you can see here the larger sort of 18-wheelers, larger trucks, they're able to get through. But if you have a regular car, you have a sedan, you have a SUV, you even have a minivan, you don't want to try to get through these flood waters this morning. So we will continue to keep you updated as we learn more. But for right now, reporting from Tallapoosa Street, Jonathan Skinner, WBRC, Fox 6 News, on your side.
All right, we'll keep you posted there, getting some more photos and videos coming in from the First Alert weather app, and you can see this heavy runoff and the flooding happening. This is in Birmingham. LaShonda Henderson sharing this on the First Alert weather app, and looks like just a rolling creek there in the streets as that heavy rain and heavy runoff. We probably had 3-4 inches of rain within an hour in some areas there. It was just quite heavily, quite intense this morning, and this is the second round of rain that moved through. Let's see, this is Jennifer King, North Gardendale, and this is what we're seeing now is just a lot of the runoff that's causing some of the problems there after all the heavy rain that we had. Let's Let's get back to live radar as we go to First Alert AccuTrack. Those storms, you can see there's a southwest component or southeast component to this. This is that active northwest flow pattern. We had the round of storms last night that we told you about, moved through Gadsden. Now we've got this next round that's moving through, and that's why you're seeing a lot of these flash flood warnings, is just in case we saw some additional storms to the north. But as our system tracked a few moments ago, areas where we got a lot of problems here and a lot of the flooding, we've been bringing you those scenes. It looks like this next batch of heavy rain is going to track a little bit further north here, more oriented towards Trussville, so we'll need to watch out here around Pinson and Gardendale and some areas there to the north for the possibility of some localized flooding. All this shifting a bit further east with time. Let's go to the next 24 hours. We want to take this step by step, so as we kind of plan for the rest of today, we've had parts of the area hardly a drop of rain, and as we take this a frame at a time, there's 8 o'clock. You can see as we go to 9, 10 o'clock, a lot of this starting to transition back in towards Gadsden and Anniston. Now, we had all the flash flooding here last night, so we'll probably see some more flood issues later on this morning as that slides on by. Notice a chance that we do catch a break, and again, we're already seeing that break across West Alabama, starting to see it around parts of the Birmingham area, so the day won't be a total washout. Just want to note that, but then we get into the afternoon, there could be some pop-ups, and then tonight, looks like another round will be moving through. I know we talked about a good chance of afternoon storms, but I think this morning round is going to have an impact on what we see later today, but it looks like it comes back in here for tonight. But we'll have the 7-day, more radar updates as we continue on this First Alert weather day now because of this concern for flooding that we have around the area. Chief Meteorologist Wes Wyatt. Stay tuned as we continue right here on Good Day Alabama.
Welcome back in. Again, a first alert now for this flooding situation that is impacting several parts of our viewing area.
You can see this here. This is Tallapoosa Street in Birmingham there at one of the exit. You see those bigger trucks still trying to make their way through there, but we've seen numerous sedans and other smaller vehicles get stuck. You see one there with the lights flashing right now. Now, Mike, we have been told that there have been several water rescues. I would assume people just getting them out of those vehicles, but we don't know any extent of those at this point. Certainly hoping that everyone's okay, but that is not a good area to drive in, even though that big truck did make its way through.
Yeah, the heavier vehicles can certainly make it through. The smaller ones cannot. But you know, a lot of rain fell in a short amount of time earlier this morning. So if you are heading out, just please be careful because you will probably see some treacherous driving conditions.
All right, an update on the forecast when we come back.
Welcome back to Good Day Alabama. Chief Meteorologist Wes Wyatt in with you this morning. It's a first alert weather day because we've had some flooding issues out there this morning. Things really going downhill in a hurry with all this heavy rain moving through. But you can see, as we talked about, that gradual transition to the east. But we're now getting some of that heavier rain. It's more of a steady rain around Anniston and Jacksonville, but of some wet roadways here. Highway 431 giving you that first alert. Watch it here around Oxford and Anniston, and then along the interstate, some of the heavier downpours right now from about Pell City over to the Cook Springs exit, area south right near Sickard Hollow Road, and then back along Highway 280. You get back in here to Childersburg and Sylacauga, and we got some really heavy rain, some intense lightning here. These are some stronger storms at the moment that are kind of bowing out. Some indications we do have some gusty winds in here as these storms track south. Coosa County, we're about to get it here north of Rockford. Want to give you around Weogufka that first alert for some strong wind gusts moving in. You can see Gap of the Mountain all the way to Lay Lake and places like the Jumbo community here into Chilton County. We've already had one severe thunderstorm warning, but we do have some strong storms moving in. Meteorologist Matt Daniel plotting where we may have some half-inch size hailstones in here with these storms. So we got the heavy rain, possibility of some hail, gusty winds, and some intense lightning with these storms moving on through. Still quite a bit of rain around Columbiana that's happening, but we are seeing some nice breaks in all those trouble spots that we had here with the flooding. And once this breaks off, I think for the rest of today we'll enjoy some dry weather into the afternoon. This morning round of storms is certainly going to have an impact on what happens later on today. It's probably going to delay the arrival of the next round of storms, but we will see another round kind of like this that's going to move in from the northwest. More than likely that's going to move in tonight across the area. That's why we have a flood watch that's now been issued for our area until 1 o'clock in the morning. Want to head over to meteorologist Matt Daniel. Matt, you're also keeping a close eye on this heavy rain impacting the area. I know you've been sending out some alerts on the weather app, but it looks like we are starting to finally see that trend more of an eastward direction with this.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, Wes, we're kind of a little fortunate that it didn't actually happen right now, like being the heart of it when everyone's awake and going down the roads, because it could be even worse than it is now. So we are seeing some improvement west of 65. It's still going to be a mess if you have to go anywhere east of 65. But we're getting some storm reports out. Homewood's been hit pretty hard. We've had numerous reports of trees being down throughout the city of Homewood. Some of those trees are large. Also getting some reports out of the Homewood area. Numerous roadways were reported as flooded. And of course, the fire department's advising people to stay off the roads. And that's the best advice. If you are encountering a flooded area, we were seeing some of that live footage through there. People just stalled out or stuck in the water. If you can't see the road, don't even attempt to cross it. You just want to stop, turn around, and there's got to be another way to get to your destination. So we're looking at some of the storm reports, though. I'm going to highlight some of these reports that we've got, and just zooming in as we go into parts of northern parts of Jefferson County. We got Village Creek at Avenue W officially rose above that flood stage, which is about 10 feet, and it's continuing to rise. Thankfully, in that area, the rain has definitely come to an end, so that is encouraging news through there. Also getting some reports. Looks like we got a little bit of a wind gust. This is right around 1 mile east of Mount Olive, a tree down on Mount Olive Road. This was reported through social media as well. So some of these storms have produced some wind gusts. In fact, in Chelsea earlier this morning, I was watching the storm roll through. I saw wind gusts up to about 42 miles per hour. So we saw some gusts up to 40, and we had a few warnings as well. We were tracking that one storm in Bibb County, also moving into parts of Chilton County that warranted that severe thunderstorm warning. And the threats today, as Wes was talking about, it's going to be, if we see severe storms, it's going to be damaging winds and hail. It's not a tornado setup. This is a wind and hail threat. And of course, flash flooding is a big concern because we got some pretty heavy rainfall rates. We were seeing some rates. If the rain was just falling in the same spot for an hour, you could have gotten almost 6 to 7 inches. So that is quite a lot of moisture, a lot of humidity in the air. But as we zoom out, we are going to be tracking some isolated showers. I will note, in parts of Marion County, also into parts of Winston County, seeing some showers developing in around the Double Springs area and right along Interstate 22 approaching Brilliant. So we're going to be watching some of these isolated showers that could be going through some of those spots towards the south and east. I think Wes has a little bit more information to share. We'll talk about
Yeah, Matt, just wanted to point out behind you, this is a live look from Oak Grove that we have on 280 this morning, and that heavier rain moving in. Be careful out there. Sylacauga area giving you that first alert. This is looking back towards the Marble Quarry, and you can see there the visibility starting to drop off now, so that heavy rain starting to move further south. This is a picture we shared. This is from Highway 78 there in the Adamsville area, so parts of Jefferson County. Again, we're dealing with quite a bit of significant flooding that's happening out there in parts of the area this morning. Be extra careful. Let's head over now to Toy for an update on traffic. We'll have another radar check coming up. Toy?
Yeah, Wes, we're seeing some of that flooding out there on the roads as well. This is the one I was telling you about earlier, Highway 280 westbound. This is the Inverness Parkway camera, but this is actually just past Valleydale Road there, and you can see one lane is blocked because of that flooding. There was actually a stalled vehicle there just a few minutes ago that they have since moved out of the way. They were since able to push that out of the way, but this is what we're talking about. Of course, Matt was telling you, if you see some water on the roadway, you don't know how deep it is, certainly want to turn around so that you are not in that kind of situation there. This is what delays we're seeing, at least 2 miles of delays in the Lake Purdy area from that, of course, passing Highway 119 there in the Inverness and Lake Purdy area. Now, we got another crash on 2059 northbound past Inslee Avenue with some lane blockage. That crash that we had a little further back, that was actually 2059 southbound, has since cleared. We gave that the thumbs up. A new crash here as well on the east side, 2059 southbound. As you're traveling inbound past Tallapoosa Street, we've got lane blockage as well. By the way, some flooding on Tallapoosa Street as well. You may have heard about that earlier today. One other crash I wanted to tell you about in Shelby County, 65 northbound past Highway 31 near the Calera area. We've got lane blockage there and ponding on the roadways.
and on your side. You're watching WBRC Fox 6 News. Good day, Alabama.
Day. We got heavy rainfall, so it's a first alert weather day. It's causing some traffic issues across our viewing area. We've already had multiple reports of water rescues in parts of our viewing area as well.
So we're still gathering information on that, but let's go straight to Chief Meteorologist Wes Wyatt now with an update on what we're seeing right now.
Yeah, we're tracking the heavy rain that's been moving through the area. One good sign right now is areas where we had the flash flooding around Vestavia Hills and Hoover. All that heavy rain is shifting on to the east right now. We still have the flash flood warning that you see that's in effect for Jefferson County, but the heavier rain moving on to the east direction. I want to go over to future radar, and you can see here in the future radar mode that over the next hour, it looks like a lot of this heavy rain is going to slide to the east of Birmingham, which is a good sign, but we still have a lot of runoff, and that's going to cause some trouble spots. Some of the stronger storms that we have at the moment pushing down towards Sylacauga. Here's a look. Jacksonville and Anniston getting some rainfall, but also it looks like maybe even to the north. I know Etowah County and the Gadsden area, we had some flooding issues last night, and it looks like that's going to track on to the east. Let's get back in here, live look at radar, because the more intense storms right now, a bit of a bow with this. If you look here, you can kind of see stretching from near Blue Springs back towards Lay Lake and pushing towards the southeast direction. Actually, we can put some times on here, first alert times for this line of storms. Childersburg getting some of the heavier rain, probably some wind gust in here over 40 miles per hour. It's moving east-southeast at 20. That's going to put this around Stewartville at 7:29 here coming up. And I believe, actually, we have one of our views. Just want to check that out real quick. One of our live cameras that we have at Oak Grove, and you can see it is absolutely pouring there now. Visibility dropping off as those storms move in. Not severe, but we could end up with some additional flooding issues. But the good news is where we're seeing some of the big problem spots around Birmingham, back into northern Shelby County. Looks like at least now we're catching a break, but that lightning, it is really popping there with those storms. Be careful this morning. Lots of radar updates coming up. We'll talk about the rest of today. We need to check in with Toy now for an update on traffic. And a busy morning for you, sir.
Yeah, it is, and I'm just trying to advance here, having a little problem with my clicker, but this is what we're looking like, Wes. Of course, you heard Wes talking about that flooding we've been seeing across the area, and this is one that still hasn't receded just yet. 280 westbound, this is near Valleydale Road. This is the Inverness Parkway camera there, and you can see it's blocking one lane. There was a stalled vehicle there actually earlier that they had to push out. Thankfully they have, but it's certainly causing some delays, of course, in that area, in the Lake Purdy area. We're seeing it significant delays. There's a light there as well that's making things even worse in that area. 2059 southbound, the east side there, past Tallapoosa Street. We have a little crash there as well, a major crash, I should say, there that's causing some significant delays all the way from 59 southbound, of course, into the 2059 junction. I-20 dealing with it as well this morning. All right, 65 northbound in Shelby County near the Calera area, not too far from it at Highway 31, where we have a crash there as well. And the good news is that crash on the west side over there near Inslee Avenue has since cleared. We're giving that the thumbs up. Across the area, we're dealing with other areas of flooding. Valleydale Road dealing with it. Also Tallapoosa Street, and I believe Jonathan saw some on Highway 79 as well in the area. So first alert for that. Take your time this morning, even as you travel now, even if it's not raining. There are slick roadways out there. All right, Claire.
All right, Toy, thank you so much. Well, you just mentioned Valleydale, and I want to give you a live look at what's happening right now. This is Valleydale Road near the Spain Park Sports Complex. Now, the water, I've watched it recede within the past 5 minutes or so. It's gone down significantly, but you can still see Hoover Police right here have this area blocked off, have Valleydale Road blocked off. We're also hearing just down the road, Inverness Landing Apartments. They are also experiencing some flooding. So we're going to be monitoring this, and hopefully we can get a little bit further down the road once this water goes down. I also want to hop over to Cahaba Heights and show you some pictures that Hallie Ann Hobson tweeted to us. So this is Grand Highlands apartment in the Cahaba Heights area. She sent us these pictures of flooding, and you can see it's almost waist deep on the person right there next to that vehicle. Some of the cars probably have water and flood damage this morning. So a better look right there. Again, this is Grand Highland Apartments in Cahaba Heights. So we're going to continue to monitor all of this and continue to bring you updates from the First Alert Desk. I'm Claire Huddleston, back to you in the studio.
All right, Claire, thank you. We want to get to our teams on the ground now, including our own Jonathan Skinner. He was watching the situation there off Tallapoosa Street earlier where there was a heavy flooding right there. Let's get an update from him on where he is right now. Jonathan, tell us what's going on.
Hey, good morning. Well, we're still here at Tallapoosa Street because we, just like many other people trying to get off the exit ramp here, are sort of stuck right now because of the flooding that's happening here behind me. Now, this is Tallapoosa Street. Talked to my photojournalist, Brandon Riggins, about this. He says there's sort of like a creek over here. If you look over here, there's a creek that's flooded, and then that water has gone into the intersection, causing the flooding there. Now, we have seen, like you might be seeing there, an 18-wheeler, those big trucks, be able to get through and get on the highway, get on the interstate, and smaller vehicles like that SUV over there, as well as other sort of sedans, have had trouble with it. The SUV's gotten stuck. It's been stuck there for about 30 minutes or so. Now, the interstate traffic is moving pretty regularly, but the off-ramp here and the off-ramp on the other side of the interstate are both having trouble right now with traffic and with this flooding as well. In fact, some cars have even decided to try to turn around. That's why this is sort of cleared out right here, because cars have decided to make a U-turn and go back up the ramp to try to get back on the interstate. So a lot of issues with traffic, a lot of issues with the flooding this morning. We're just asking you, if you can, avoid the Tallapoosa Street exit on 59 because you want to stay as safe as possible, and we will continue to keep you updated as we learn more about the developing situation. Reporting from Birmingham, Jonathan Skinner, WBRC Fox 6 News, on your side.
All right, Jonathan, thank you so much. And yeah, as storms moved through, we saw a lot of cars that were stuck in floodwaters. And earlier we showed you the situation in Vestavia Hills. Let's get an update on that right now from our own JJ Pruitt. JJ.
Yeah, Mike, you guys heard that, saw that there was an 18-wheeler that was stuck right down there. As you can see, the 18-wheeler has been removed, but it's still on the side of the road, as you can see. Now, we're over here about Montgomery Highway, the Chevron on 65 and Montgomery Highway by the exit. But as you can see, the southbound lane is open, is wide open. So if you are having to travel Montgomery Highway southbound, then you're welcome to come. However, if you look on the north side is still closed. They brought in some heavy artillery, I guess you might say, heavy machinery, and for some reason it is still closed just right up there where the Captain D's and the Express Oil Change is. The heavy machinery is moving some kind of dirt or some kind of debris. Don't know if that was from the wash off from earlier when the rain. Now, as you can see, all of these cars right down there, that area right there on 31 was about shin deep high. And that's how much the water has receded from about an hour ago. But as you can see, they still have something going on the north side. So if you're traveling 65 north and you have to get off and head northbound on Montgomery Highway, then you still can't go at this time. However, I want to show you something right quick. Take a look right here. This is one of the drains where the water is coming from, and this is how much debris has come from across the street. That's how much water has been coming down from this area right here. So again, if you have to come 31 northbound, they're going to stop you right here at Montgomery Highway exit in 65, and it's probably going to be all the way up just to the other side over there, northbound. Just on the other side of where the machinery is. So again, don't travel 31 north right now until we let you guys know that it is open. Reporting live in Vestavia, JJ Pruitt, WBRC Fox 6 News, on your side. Mike and Janice.
All right, thank you very much, JJ. Meanwhile, happening today, some powerful moments expected on Capitol Hill. Families and survivors of recent mass shootings will testify before Congress. Witnesses from Uvalde, Texas, and Buffalo and New York will testify. That includes an 11-year-old who says she survived the Uvalde school shooting by playing dead. Family members of victims, teachers, also gun safety advocates, and law enforcement officials are also expected to speak today. Witnesses from other cities will testify as well. Meanwhile, there are